If you've ever visited Amsterdam, you know it's a city full of charm, beauty, and picturesque canals winding through the streets. But if you take a closer look, you might notice something a little unusual about those canals: bicycles. Not floating bike-riding tourists, but actual bicycles submerged in the water. How did they get there? Why are they still there? Well, it turns out there's a job specifically designed to clean up this watery mess: the bicycle fisher. And trust me, it's one of the most unique and strange jobs you'll ever hear about. Let's dive in and discover what it takes to fish bikes out of the canals of Amsterdam. Amsterdam's canals are legendary. The city is home to over 100 kilometers of canals, and they're not just decorative, they're also practical, serving as a transportation route for both people and goods. And while the canals might be beautiful, they also tend to attract a lot of junk. Among the many strange and surprising things found in these waters, bicycles are by far the most common. The reasons vary. Some bikes are accidentally dropped in after a wild night out, some are stolen and tossed, and others are abandoned. But no matter how they end up there, they're a serious problem for the city's cleanliness and its delicate ecosystem. Enter the bicycle fisher. These dedicated professionals are the unsung heroes of Amsterdam's canals. Their job? To fish bicycles out of the water. They use special boats equipped with large nets and hooks to scoop up bicycles and other debris from the canal floors. It's not an easy job by any means. Diving into a murky canal to extract a submerged bike sounds like something out of a scavenger hunt, right? But these guys do it day in and day out, saving the city from what could otherwise be a huge environmental mess. So, how does this unusual job work in practice? The bicycle fisher's day begins by navigating the canals of Amsterdam in their specialized boats. These boats are designed to be both lightweight and maneuverable, which is crucial for getting into the narrow, winding waterways of the city. And here's the kicker: these boats have no motors. Instead, the bicycle fisher uses a large paddle to guide them through the water, ensuring that the boat can move quietly and efficiently as they look for submerged bicycles. Once the boat is in position, it's time for the actual fishing. The bicycle fisher uses a combination of tools, long hooks, nets, and magnetic devices to reach down into the water and retrieve the bikes. And let me tell you, the bikes aren't just casually floating at the surface waiting to be grabbed. No, these bicycles often sink to the bottom of the canal, sometimes buried in the muck. The fisher might have to dive under or use their tools to fish the bike out, making this job a bit more involved than you might think. The effort can be pretty exhausting. You see, most of the bicycles pulled from the canals aren't in the best shape. After being submerged in the muddy water for months or even years, they're usually covered in grime and rust. But that doesn't stop the bicycle fishers. They're out there every day pulling these bikes up to the surface. It's like they're running a two-person team of scavengers and cleaners for the canals. And the fishers aren't just retrieving the bikes for fun. They're on a mission to improve water quality and keep the canals looking their best. You might be wondering, what happens to all the bikes they pull out? Well, it's not like they just toss them aside. In fact, a lot of the bikes are either recycled or sold for parts. Some bikes are beyond repair, but many others can actually be refurbished and sold to tourists or locals, giving them a second life. That means the bicycles pulled from the canals aren't just junk, they're valuable resources. It's an environmentally friendly way to keep the canals clear and, honestly, make something useful out of what was once unwanted trash. Interestingly, bicycle fishing isn't just a full-time job for a few lucky individuals. It's actually something that involves a lot of collaboration. In fact, there are several organizations in Amsterdam that specialize in cleaning the canals. One of the most notable is the Amsterdam Canal Company, which organizes special tours where you can ride along in a boat and watch the bicycle fishers in action. These tours give you a unique perspective on the canals while also educating you about the importance of keeping the city's water systems clean. It's a fun way to learn about the job and the city's environmental efforts. But here's the thing. Bicycle fishing isn't just about getting rid of trash. It's part of a larger ecological effort to keep the canals clean and preserve the delicate ecosystem of the city's waterways. These canals aren't just pathways for tourists, they're home to a wide variety of aquatic life, including fish, birds, and plants. By removing abandoned bikes and other debris, the bicycle fishers help keep the water clear and prevent pollution from harming the local environment. So in a way, their work is environmental conservation at its most quirky and creative. And let's not forget the element of fun. Sure, it's a tough job, but being a bicycle fisher is also a bit like being an urban adventurer. Imagine rowing through the canals, catching bikes with a giant hook, and helping make the city a cleaner place all at the same time. There's a certain satisfaction in finding a rusted-out bike buried in the muck and pulling it to the surface like a treasure hunter on a mission. And who could deny that there's something poetic about pulling bikes from the water, reminders of the people who live and play in the city now reclaimed by the earth? In the end, the bicycle fishers of Amsterdam are an essential part of the city's environmental efforts. They're ensuring that Amsterdam's canals stay clean, vibrant, and beautiful for generations to come. It's not glamorous, and it's certainly not easy, but it's a job that makes a real difference in the world. And the next time you visit Amsterdam and catch sight of a bicycle floating by, or maybe see a diver fishing one out, you'll know exactly who to thank: the unsung bicycle fishers. So there you have it, the life of a bicycle fisher, one of the most unique and unusual jobs you can find in Amsterdam. It's a quirky job with a big impact on the environment, and it's definitely something that makes the city even more interesting. If you've enjoyed this dive into one of the world's strangest jobs, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more fascinating Odd Jobs Explained.